Ramaphosa praises Zelensky over Ukraine truce stance. President Cyril Ramaphosa praised Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky during his first visit to South Africa on Thursday for agreeing to an unconditional ceasefire in the war with Russia so that peace talks could begin. Ramaphosa threw South Africa's weight behind the push for an end to the more than 3-year war, holding talks with Zelensky hours after agreeing in a call with US President Donald Trump that the conflict should be ended urgently. It is a good signal from President Zelensky that Ukraine is agreeable to an unconditional ceasefire so that discussions and negotiations can then ensue, Ramaphosa told reporters after talks with the Ukrainian leader. It is a confidence-building measure that should be a key ingredient in a negotiation process. Even while welcoming Zelensky to South Africa, Ramaphosa has maintained warm ties with Russia, a historical ally of the post-apartheid government, for its support in the struggle against white minority rule. He said he had spoken to Putin earlier in the week and "we both committed to work together towards a peaceful resolution of the Russia-Ukraine conflict." Earlier on Thursday, he spoke with Trump and they agreed that the war should be brought to an end as soon as possible to stop further unnecessary deaths, the South African president said. They would meet soon to address various matters regarding US-South Africa relations, he said, referring to a nosedive in bilateral ties after Trump came to power this year. US attacks on various South African domestic and international policies culminated in the cutting of aid and expulsion of Pretoria's ambassador last month. Ramaphosa said his country was ready to play a role in the inclusive multilateral efforts to reach peace in Ukraine. Zelensky said he believes South Africa's backing will help stop Russia and force Putin to support a complete unconditional ceasefire, according to translated remarks released by the South African government. Global efforts need to be as united as possible to pressure Russia, he said. The G20 group of leading economies, which is this year under South Africa's presidency and convenes a summit in November, also has a role in the defense of life, Zelensky said. Ramaphosa's invitation to Zelensky to visit was seen as a shift in Pretoria's non-aligned stance on the war, which began in 2022. South Africa believes it can work with both sides and facilitate an inclusive peace process, drawing on its own relatively smooth transition out of apartheid in 1994 after decades of armed struggle.